Correct. This is what I'm trying to say. The maximum credit they can utilize the system is to have a subspecialist tag,
Tag,
But
which is
I really don't see anything, especially in our part of the world. We have been there. I'm sure any orthopedic surgeon runs down his clock from morning 8 o'clock to minimum evening 9:10. That's our running time. No, see, again, see, I'll tell you, we could even call it as a small India, right? If you look at the percentage of population of expats, Indians are the highest, right? So again, culturally, it is a wonderful place. You have all sorts of people, all sorts of cuisines, and all sorts of stuff. And
what are the degrees that make you eligible for what are the foreign degrees or the tier 2 degrees that make you eligible for a consultant?
So unfortunately, the answer as of now, nothing from India. So this is the worst thing that we are facing right now. I mean, proudly saying that we are skilled, we are specialized in things. From the abroad, again, there's a lot of confusion, especially we guys go with UK is the most common country, and so the FRCS, all these examinations, and they are equivalent to our MS, they are tier 3. So from the UK, you should have finished your complete consultant training program, that is CSST, right? So the training ship that should have completed the full exit exam and come, that is taken as a tier course that comes. Again, I think I wouldn't waste the audience this way. If they have the website, they have a clear country degree things that works out. In simple English, you should have been a consultant in whichever part of the world that you're talking about. Only then you're here.
So completing just an MCH program in UK is not enough.
It doesn't work.
No.
Okay.
On any.
Sorry.
Right? Yeah. So or any other program, let's say MCH, MSc, or diploma. I mean any of a program. Or let's say you've worked in UK for some time. Let's say 5 years you've worked in UK as a senior registrar or anything. None of those things matter. You might have fellowship there. You might have this thing. No.
So if we are extrapolating the same to Australia, if we are doing an Australian Orthopaedic Association accredited fellowship, that doesn't count, is it? Yeah. And regarding the US, when you just do the US MLE, it doesn't matter. You should have become a consultant in US. Yeah.
So I'll be very clear. Whenever you're talking about your fellowship, that does not add to your base degree. According to their way of looking up, there are two concepts. Main, you're an orthopedic surgeon, right? Then you have subspecialty. You can be a specialist license, then you can have a subspecialty license under specialist as a, let's say, a sports surgeon, if you have a training program, right?
Yeah.
But that really doesn't help in any way, but they have a concept of having it, just as a licensing, but that really doesn't help in any way, but you can have that. Maybe your 2-year fellowship program for all of India and things will help us to have a subspecialist license under specialist license.
Is it a mandate to have a subspecialist license? No. Okay.
Absolutely no. Because that you're asking me the questions of is it of any use? I just wanted to tell that there is that.
Most of our audience are fellows and who are just willing to spend their time in various fellowships. And if they want to land up in Dubai, they need to have a clear idea that it doesn't matter in Dubai right now.
Yes, correct. This is what I'm trying to say. The maximum credit they can utilize the system is to have a subspecialist tag,
Tag.
But
which is
I really don't see anything, I really don't see anything.
Okay, that's
so
clear.
The simple answer that you told, that to become a consultant in Dubai, you should be a consultant in any other foreign country.
Yes.
Like UK or Australia or Canada. Or
yes.
Okay, so we spoke about our work. So now if we come to the life, how is the work-life balance? How is the work hours? how long will be the working?
I think that's something, that's the main seller bee across the globe. See, because we are all workaholics, especially in our part of the world, we have been there. I'm sure any orthopedic surgeon runs down his clock from morning 8 o'clock to minimum evening 9, 10. That's our time, running time. And we all have kids, we all have wives, home ministries, and answering this become thing. Here it's an 8-hour job, right? You get paid for your 8 hours of job, and after your 8 hours, you are your guy. This is this is the culture across the globe, which we do not. In India it's slightly different. So if you ask me about that work life balance, yes, you have the globe in your door and you do a job and then you finish your job and get back. So it's basically that 48 hours per week kind of work. Now, if you ask me, can you work more than that? If someone will stop you if you work more than that, no, they will not stop you. But
But will they pay you for those extra hours?
yeah, so classic answer to this Indian question is yes. See, so again, I cannot say a very yes answer, because see here it's all on what concept that you're financed, right? If you're on a remuneration basis, your contract will say very clear that you are for this kind of a package, this kind, and it is not that you're not expected to work more than this hours. So even if you work, you're not going to get paid. That's the
Okay.
moral of the story. At the same time, if you have, see, different package where you do not work on a remuneration package and you work on a sharing or incentive package, or any as a freelancer, or a revenue sharing program. I think that's a better word, I would say. Revenue sharing program. Then it's revenue sharing, right? So you understand what I.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I think I've covered.
So yeah. So the employment type decides the working hours and the payment, etc.
So are
But
you salaried or are you revenue and multiple things? Okay.
coming to the top side of things, what are the legal challenges or litigations that an orthopedic surgeon can face in Dubai? So this
No,
question,
before I go there, I think I would think you would like to ask one more question on the salary package, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yes, please, please.
Yeah,
Because that is selling point in
so
people coming to Dubai. That
so
is clearly
that
outlined.
is that is something that I have to really make a choice, because see, the worst part is that our own guys are never transparent. So I think that has to be told. See, right now the fancy terms of, in our, I'll speak into our money, that 15 lakh 20 lakh salaries taking up, that is not the market that is prevailing in this part of the world. As I told you in the start of the conversation, it's the overfilled market here as well, because not only prior it was Indians running major show, but right now across the globe people want to come, right, for reason and the other, So let's look at on a specialist cadre. For if you're a fish entering the market, that is, you're a person who's come whatsoever. If you go to a clinic basis, right? So now what is in clinic? This is also a question that people ask. You can sit in a clinic and you can still have attachment with a hospital so that you can do a surgery there, right? So for a clinic basis in this market that is happening, you can expect a salary of 20 to 25,000 dirhams for a specialist. This is the current market. It's not a great market. This is the market that's happening. And for a hospital basis, your salary goes from 30 to 35,000 dirhams. I'm talking about general now, right? This is what is happening. Now, of course, sky is the limit when your practice is. I'll tell you the truth about me as well. So I came in for a retainer fees, and then once you have your own clientage, you have your things, and your feed up market, then it difference. Now I'm on totally on revenue sharing and these kind of a basis, right? But to answer as a nominal basis, these are the slabs that I wanted to make it clear.
so what is the pay package consultant versus the things that you told of for specialist, right? 35,000 dirhams. Yeah. How
Correct.
does it start for a consultant who's coming from UK?
So I think that's a wild card question. So on an average, just for the difference in the tag, you could keep around 25% more. I would say 20%. It depends on the market pick again. I know 20 or 25%.
Okay. Because earlier you were clear, like both of them are treated the same. It's only the tag that differs. We need to know how much is the tag higher.
Yeah, yeah. So I told that word for all perspective, but on a salary slab, when you're entering the market, there will be definitely a 20-25% difference,
Okay.
right? But there are quite a lot of specialists earning far more than the consultants because see what happens, see, when you enter this market is new to you. It's same like in India, you're being hired as a surgeon, and the biggest surgeon will not be on a salary package, he'll be on a revenue sharing package, right? So that goes totally, got my point.
Yeah.
Okay. So the answer is heartening for us and few other Indians as well because most of us will be entering as a specialist.
Yes, that's why I wanted to state very blunt, very practical.
Okay, but there are some queries that we have because earlier you said there are three types of centers where we can get in. One is either a clinic or a hospital or a premium setup. So, what are the infrastructure variations among these three tier of workplaces? Because if you are placed in a clinic, you can only consult, but if you want to operate, how far you can reach
No.
out? How does it work?
So I'll tell you, as long as you're a specialist, you're independent in your work. So I think it goes by its words. Your clinic means you see your OPD patients there, and then you can have, it depends on you. There are people who come in, there are also people who come in who are least interested in surgical perspective. They just want to have a orthopedic physician kind of a practice, right? And there is a perspective who are aggressive surgically. Now, in a clinic, the good thing is that you see your set of patients and you can select your set of patients. For example, you're a shoulder and knee guy, right? You select what set of patients you want to put them surgically, and you can have an licensing with the hospital attachment. So you put them in a hospital, do your surgery, and then you follow,
Okay.
right? Now, in a hospital scenario, when you come in, you will have to take basically in a clinic scenario, you don't have on calls and those things at all, right? In a hospital scenario, it's going to be your on call. Of course, you do not expect mangled calls here because most of the RTAs goes to the government, right? And only a small share comes to the private, and that too higher A. I mean, your trauma center private, not in all private hospitals, to be precise. So the permanent trauma is going to be mild trauma or pediatric trauma or finger and all that kind of stuff, right? So this is the difference.
Okay.
Now, the others premium set of hospital is the word why I used the premium is based on the insurance because it depends on low insurance, mid insurance, and premium insurance. So these hospitals are also closely linked with what insurance the patients are entitled with, right? So 75% of the hospitals take up all medium and low and medium high, right? The premium, so-called the tag of premium set of hospitals, cater to only the beyond high level insurance. So they do not cater the medium and low level insurance patients. Yeah.
Okay. That clears the doubt regarding the work life, how it is. So let's now talk about the question we talked earlier. How is the work life
Yeah.
balance? How is it?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so, so is it about the work-life balance or
Yeah, now
the
it's about the work life balance.
So as I told you, work-life balance is quite good. That is something that you will definitely feel fulfilled about here. You have the best of best lifestyle, provided you are a lifestyle person. Uh, you have the world at your door, and you have a balanced work, and you have a decently paid job. Yeah, that to me is called work-life balance. Yes, you can take it. Now, the question differs if you're a work alcoholic, you are extremely oriented on your skill, you're extremely oriented or passionate about your skill based earning. That is something that, I mean, I have to talk about both, right? So yeah, that is something would differ. Yeah, personally.
Okay. So that brings us to the whole question. What are the kinds of legal challenges or litigations that we can face in Dubai when compared to India? How
So
is
I'll tell
this?
you, no.
Yeah,
So I think the smiles make it clear this is a legally challenged world. This is why there's a common saying everywhere that goes that it's good to be orthopedic physicians rather than thing. And I see that let's take out that scare away. These legal issues are rising throughout the globe, right? India was left away from these things. Unfortunately, all our patients have become Google patients and second opinion oriented patients. We should not blame them. It is thankful to our corporate infrastructure as well. It has become so. We don't know where to blame, where to start blaming this thing. It's all started. Now here it is all extra super needed. I'll tell you there was an interview that I attended with a local doctor here. That was my during my start of this time. And I asked him, he asked me a nice question, Doctor. I see you have been across the globe. You were in India, you were in different parts of the world. But what is the difference that you see between UAE and this thing? I was talking very academic, that academic answers and all. He was an old chap with no hair and all those things. And he told me, Doctor, you need to know this part of the world, the main difference is the people mentality. They want everything is fast express, as they say, right? Now, it is not about being nationality or our own Indian guys who are here think they have ran a globe. I don't know what kind of a thinking they have. So, what I'm trying to see is that they have a fast forward mentality. Arthroscopy to them means you come, you lie down, and then you go back. I don't know any. I don't think in my language any of the orthopedic surgeon would be able to do that. So that is kind of a demand that I mean I'm talking in a very jovial language, but this is kind of a mindset that is here. So, which means you always encounter a lot of issues, starting with very silly, See, forget about genuine issues. Forget about genuine issues, genuine negligence. See, that any part of the world you're going to get stuck, right? So that is there. But I'm talking about the silliest of the silliest, going up to the genuine issue. Now, here the investigation happens. So, the good thing is that the patient always puts a complaint in your Dubai Health Authority, and there is a lot of investigation program that happens, and there is medical suing that happens. Of course, your insurance covered till a panel, and beyond the panel, you have to take it or your insurance, because most of the insurance that the hospital provides are group insurance, and beyond the value, they don't cover it. And then you have legal proceedings which can even go to banning your license for infinite time period and everything that can happen across, right? So I'll give a very nutshell answer. See, in the Western world, there is also a lot of medical legal problem, but you are always in an institutional cover, right? Right. Now, here, what happens is that you're in a private setup. Though you call it an institution, you're all on your own, right? Until I mean, there are few centers. I'm not saying there are no centers. That is where you're. What maybe you're talking about a department where you have a person, you work under him, you do all these things and put his responsibility to that guy. But if you want to work by yourself as a private specialist or independent darling, all the responsibilities on you. No one is going to stand by you for anything, right?
Yeah.
So that is the kind of thing. It is there's something not to be scared with. As long as our documentation is good, as long as we are doing ethical practice, as long as we are genuine practice, I don't think across the globe no one can touch you,
Okay.
right? So this is the golden saying. But this puts into your demanding patient, demanding environment philosophy.
okay. So I have a follow-up question. This is a very elaborate answer, of course, and this is what I can't expect nothing more from you. But so to put it simple, if there are 100 orthopedic surgeons, how many of them are getting into litigations in Dubai? That is the simple question, to get an idea of how
So,
much litigation.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you personal so that I don't tell others into my opinion. You know me, right? People know me. I have this thing. Even I have a lot of litigations. So
So getting
So,
into
right, right.
litigations at least once in life is like imperative when you are in Dubai.
Obviously, then you cannot be a surgeon.
Okay.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
At least. At least, yeah. Of course, I cannot really reveal all the litigations, but sometimes that litigations make you feel funny and frustrated. But yes, yes,
Okay.
you have to go through the process. Of course, see, I'm not talking about negligence. I'm not talking about these things. These are
Yeah.
anyway, medical. That is totally different. I'm talking about litigations for even small funda if the doctor is late to see a patient, if a patient satisfaction level is not met, or a lot of factors, a lot of other surgical out not been apt to his expectation, or X, Y, Z like this. Although these complications are very literature proven, because I don't think any surgeon across the globe is complication free until unless he's a quack.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. So we need to ask you, like, how culturally recipient or is the Dubai for an Indian surgeon? Like, is there any limitations?
No, see, again, see, I'll tell you, we could even call it as a small India, right? If you look at the percentage of population of expats, Indians are the highest, right? So again, culturally, it is a wonderful place. You have all sorts of people, all sorts of cuisines, and all sorts of stuff. So what you understand over a thing that when you start establishing your practice, predominantly 70% will be your own guys. I'm not saying the other guys. If it's going to be, I mean, because it's such a open-minded place, you have everyone, but still you have all your what can I say? Your preferences as well, right? Obviously, I'll be comfortable meeting a guy who speaks my language. Obviously, that kind of thing. So I don't put it as a restraint here, because Egyptian doctor is going to have a lot of predominant Egyptian clientage. Um, a white guy is going to have a lot of Western clientage. But there will be mix and match of each.
Thank you. That was again an elaborate answer. So you've been taking like 1 hour from your practice. We know
No problem.
there are many patients waiting to see you, but this is the one last question. So
Please.
how's the settlement process looking like? So if you want to immigrate to Dubai, how is the citizenship process? How welcoming is the country, and what are the ways to settle there? Is there a possibility of settling in Dubai completely?
So there are people I've seen here living here for generations. This is a beautiful place. So again, the travel time to India is 3.5 hours for most of the. So you don't miss home. You're partly there. Very welcoming. You have all the thing, but you don't have citizenship, right? It's not like your UK or US where they gave you citizenship. Till now, they don't have citizenship. The highest thing that is happening right now is golden visa. I have a golden visa. Uh, See, golden visa to me means a visa for 10 years. That's what it means. Uh, of course, you have a lot of privileges. If you invest your money, if you buy your houses, if you everything. I do have business here, so I'm a right person to talk. So which means, so that is all in the money perspective of you pumping here, but that is nowhere close to your citizenship, right? But amazingly, what I see not people really look into is because of the way it is being textured is such a open-minded place. You don't feel the difference of being an expat or thing, because such an open-minded place, accepting multicultural linguistics. So settling here, if you're asking me the question of citizenship, as of now, it is no. But lots of people settle here. So that is the advantage. You still can have an Indian passport. You can go and come, and then you can buy properties. You can be here. You can enjoy life, and you still can do that. I look at it as at a plus point. You don't need to lose your Indian passport.
Okay. But the question is, once you finish your career and if you want to settle down without any agreement for practice, you cannot stay there, right?
Now, what you're asking me is, when you become revenue-less, can you
Yeah.
stay here or not, right?
Yeah. 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 That's the final
So,
settling choice we are asking for.
so
So you want to retire
yes,
in
obviously.
Dubai, is it possible?
So, say, see, retirement is possible, but you do not expect a kind of a government-based thing. There are a lot of government-based plans that are there that give you kind of a pension and all those things. But see, you're never your citizen, right? You're not your citizen. There's a lot of difference. You're never a citizen. So I don't think the question of that comes here. You know, when you're not a citizen,
Mhm.
you need to have your legal papers always ready. You can still stay here. There are a lot of people staying here for YZ, because when you have a golden visa, they are not going to check on your this thing and all those things. But you need to have money.
Yeah. Until you have money to spend, you
Yeah,
are.
obviously, obviously. Either I mean, you need to have a business. Yeah, the answer is you need to have.
Okay.
So that brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you, Doc. The answers were very elaborate,
Thank you.
but at the same time crisp and to the point, and were eye-opening for us. And I'm sure that it will be eye-opening for many of the younger surgeons who are looking forward to move to Dubai. And thank you very much for taking 1 hour out of your busy practice and spending on this podcast.
Yeah, it's a busy clinic hours, and you have spent us almost in more than an hour now. So thank you so much for your participation and your wonderful thoughts on various questions that all our viewers are having every day.
I indeed, I would thank you, two busy surgeons, asking me these lovely questions, not relating to orthopedics. That's really lovely. And I know you guys personally. And second thing, what I've seen is it's not about being young or old. We see a lot of inclarity in the information when they're thinking to Dubai. Personally, I had that because had a wonderful practice back in India, and then suddenly one day I thought I'll come here, and for reasons that are different. My reasons were different, but still, So I don't know whether my answers were good or bad, but I wanted to keep my answers practical rather than being a sophisticated. So I thought that way it should be helpful. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they were really helpful. So see you in some other collaborative podcast. Thank you.
100%.
See you next
And
time.
and I would really take. I mean, I don't know how to appreciate your efforts in taking this kind of a 360-degree of Pandora that will help all. Okay. Thank you for all the good works.